I used to believe that life was something you built first. Across from me most mornings, reading one of her library books, just like she's done for over 50 years. Every now and then, she turns a page, and the sound somehow feels louder than it should. And when I look at her, I don't just see the woman in front of me. I see everything. 54 years of a life we built together. The laughter, the arguments, the quiet forgiveness in between. But when I close my eyes, I'm 25 again. I'm back in that small house in Iowa, a young high school history teacher, a brand new head football coach. I had a wife who loved me, kids growing up around me, and a whole life stretched out ahead like a blank map. And still, I was running, always running, from one responsibility to the next, from one expectation to another, never stopping long enough to ask myself what any of it was costing me. I thought my job, my duty, was to secure the future. I thought my worth was measured by what I provided, what I achieved, and how people saw me. In that town, I was respected. I was the neighborhood dad, the one fixing kids' bicycles, the coach giving advice to boys who didn't have fathers, the man hosting barbecues, making everyone feel welcome. I knew how to show up for everyone else. I gave people my best, and then I went home. If I could sit that young man down today, right there on those wooden porch steps, put a hand on his shoulder, and give him just one rule, it would be this: never, ever give the people you love your leftovers. You know what I mean by leftovers? It's the heavy sigh when you walk through the door. It's nodding without listening while your wife tells you about her day. It's hearing the words but missing the meaning. It's saying, just a minute. So many times, your child eventually stops asking, and when they stop asking, you don't notice right away, but years later, you feel it. I left my best self outside my own home. I remember a Tuesday evening in October. The air was cool, football weather, the kind of evening that used to make me feel alive. I was at the kitchen table, buried in playbooks, grading papers, carrying the weight of a losing season. My son, he was 7. He walked in holding a drawing. He'd spent an hour on it. It was the two of us throwing a football in the yard. The sky was bright blue in his picture, brighter than any real sky I'd ever seen. He stood next to me, quiet, waiting. I didn't look. I waved my hand and said, "Put it on the counter, buddy. Dad's busy. We'll look at it later." Later. That word is a thief. It steals your life while promising you a better one. It sounds harmless, almost responsible, but it quietly replaces everything that matters with things that won't. He set the drawing down and walked away, so quietly. And I didn't think anything of it. I told myself I was doing the right thing, working hard, providing, sacrificing. But a 7-year-old boy doesn't care about your career. He doesn't understand sacrifice the way adults do. He cares if his father's eyes light up when he walks into the room. Mine didn't. And you don't get that Tuesday back. Not ever. It happens in marriage too. Slowly. So slowly. You don't notice the distance until it's already there. Until the silence between you starts to feel normal. Susan and I have been married since 1971, and I love her more now than I did standing at that altar. But there was a stretch, years long, where I was a ghost in my own house. I was there, but I wasn't there. I gave my patience to my students, my energy to my players, and when I came home, there was nothing left. She got the tired version of me, the quiet one, the one asleep in the chair, before the evening even ended. I told myself she understood, and she did. That was the tragedy. She loved me enough to accept my absence. I remember one night, I woke up in that chair. The house was dark. She was outside, sitting alone on the porch. I went out, asked what she was doing. She looked at me, smiled gently, and said, "I'm just waiting to see if my husband comes home today." That moment broke something in me, not loudly, not all at once, but in a quiet, permanent way. And if you're living that way, it should break something in you too. We treat the present like a waiting room. We think life starts later, after the promotion, after the stress, after things settle down. But things don't settle down. They just change shape. And if you keep waiting, you end up waiting forever. Time isn't something you save. It's something you spend, whether you mean to or not. Every moment you look past the people in front of you, you're spending your life somewhere else. You can't bank attention. You can't save presence. Love doesn't live in tomorrow. It lives in today, in small glances, in half-finished conversations, in moments that don't feel important until they're gone. So how do you fix it? You draw a line. When you walk through your door, you leave the world outside. The stress, the pressure, the noise. Your family shouldn't carry what they didn't create. When you step inside, be there, fully. Look at them. Really look. When was the last time you looked at your partner without distraction? Notice them, the way they speak, the way they pause, the small things that are changing with time, because time is changing them, whether you're paying attention or not. Attention is the purest form of love we have left. And stop waiting for big moments. I waited for vacations, for anniversaries, for special days. And I missed thousands of ordinary ones. Car rides, morning coffee, quiet evenings, the sound of footsteps in the hallway, the simple question of, "How was your day?" I thought those were interruptions. They were the whole story. The big moments are just punctuation, the ordinary days. That's the life. I was lucky. I realized before it was too late. I started leaving work at work, started sitting on the floor with my kids, even when I was exhausted, even when I thought I had nothing left to give. I gave a little more, and somehow that little more made all the difference. I listened to Susan, really listened. It wasn't dramatic, it was slow, a daily choice, sometimes an uncomfortable one. And slowly, the warmth came back, my kids came back, my wife's smile came back, and I finally became present in the life I had built. Now, the house fills up again on weekends, children, grandchildren, noise, life, and I sit and I watch. I don't rush it anymore. I don't try to manage every moment. I just take it in. I see my children, tired, distracted, trying to balance everything, and I recognize it. So I remind them, the work will wait, the emails will wait, but this moment won't. That rock your child is holding, that story they're trying to tell you, even if it makes no sense, that quiet look from your partner. This moment is already disappearing right as you're standing in it. Don't build a life that requires you to be absent from it. Don't trade presence for productivity, because one day you'll look back and realize the small things were the only things that mattered. Be here, now, while you still can, before now becomes never.